Hello everyone, my name is Roland Ulfstedt, here on behalf of Nadija Foundation. And just to give a short overview of what Nadija Foundation does, we're developing mental health infrastructure in Ukraine, developing a physical hospital, virtual hospital, and a research institute for the benefit of Ukrainian children. And with me today here is Olli Holmström, who has been a CEO of Deaconess Foundation for 12 years?
13 years.
13 years, okay, even more impressive. And has just retired and completed this chapter of his life. But it's not a coincidence that we're here together, because Deaconess Foundation is one of the earliest supporters of Nadija, and in fact one of the 6 founders of the Nadija initiative. And I think this is a new format that we're trying, just to introduce all of our Hopegivers in quotes of Nadija. And let's just frame it as a conversation. So just feel free to speak what's on your mind. And the topics that we'll cover is Deaconess, maybe a bit about you, Ukraine, Nadija. So all of the topics that are very close to heart to both of us, I would say. And maybe first of all, just in a nutshell, describe what Deaconess is and what it does, how, why, and what. I think maybe that's the easiest way to frame it. Yeah.
Thank you, Roland. Deaconess Foundation has been established already, or founded 1867, so we are like a pretty experienced organization and a community. However, during the last decades, we've been mainly working on social services. We were founded as a hospital during the great famine years in 1860s in Helsinki, when approximately 15% of the citizens of Finland died out of famine and of the diseases spreading that time. So this was a hospital for infectious diseases, meaning typhus, primarily. And so that's how the foundation got its start. The donator was Countess Aurora Karantzin, a Finn-born lady who was raised in St. Petersburg. 19th century Finland was the Great Duchy of Russia. And she was raised in St. Petersburg and became a court maiden for the empress. And she married, at the age of 28, she married one of the richest men in the world, Mr. Paul Deminov, who was an early oligarch, so to say. And Mr. Deminov died 3.5 years after that marriage. Aurora got married another time with Captain Karantzin, who was a Russian nationalist and volunteered to go to Crimean War in 1960s and died there, unfortunately, as a colonel. So after that, Aurora decided to move back to Finland, and she made a big tax haven move and took all her possessions back to Finland. And during the rest of her life, she donated that all away. So when she died at 1902, she practically owned nothing anymore.
Exactly.
So she was a real donator and a beneficer. And one of the biggest projects she donated or she funded was Deaconess Foundation.
Right.
It was a German model, and there was the hospital and the training of health professionals. So training of nurses and social and healthcare professionals has been a central part of this foundation since the day one. We no more do any healthcare. We are more on social services.
Right.
Today we are the 4th largest private social service provider in Finland, and by far the biggest social enterprise in social healthcare sector. So we have this ecosystem that we have social services the annual turnover is about 250 million euros, and we get some benefit, we get some profit from that, and we channel that profit to our not-for-profit.
Right.
So our not-for-profit this year is 20 million euros.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty. We're pretty large as an NGO as well.
And every year 20 million. I think that's makes a difference.
So we have like two legs.
Yeah.
In addition to the training part, but two legs is that one is the social enterprise, and then the not-for-profit activities.
Exactly.
In the not-for-profit activities, we have been active in Ukraine already for several years before the war.
Mm-hmm.
We have done development collaboration projects funded by the Foreign Ministry of Finland.
Mm-hmm.
However, when the war broke out, we very fast changed those programs to humanitarian programs. And we've been supporting minorities in Ukraine, also collaborating with the Ombudsman's office in Ukraine to help the officials to get connected with the, especially Roma minorities in Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to tell you also this, there is a kind of historical loop when it comes to Aurora.
Mm-hmm.
Her husband, Deminov, at some point of time was the mayor of Kiev, and also the fact that her second husband, Colonel Karantzin, died in the Crimean War.
Exactly, both roads lead to Ukraine, so it's sort of coming full circle.
But it's just an interesting kind of historical circle.
No.
So I think when Anne Bernard came to talk to us about this foundation, and we were watching at each other saying, "You put our circle is close."
Right. Now we're the full way.
Yes. The only answer is yes.
No, exactly. I mean, you cannot ignore that. No, especially knowing the history of the foundation. So,
yes.
yeah.
And I know Anne for several years earlier, and we all know what she has done with the Children's Hospital in Helsinki also.
Right.
So we've been working in different projects also. It's earlier. So yeah, it was very easy. Yes, to come. Nowadays, by the way, we are not anymore like Helsinki Deaconess Foundation.
Yeah.
We are active also. We are present in about 25 different areas or locations in Finland, all over up to Rovaniemi and Lapland.
Okay.
So we have 3,400 employees and we about 5,000 clients in our services.
It's quite considerable, so it's really a nationwide.
Yes,
but
it
it's still
is.
focused mainly in Finland.
It is, except our international development organization.
Exactly. And how wide did those efforts reach? So you mentioned the Ukrainian efforts.
Yep.
Is that the main focus right now?
Ukraine, Moldavia, Romania, Bulgaria, Kosovo, Bosnia, Macedonia, and in Africa Horn, Ethiopia, Tanzania.
Okay.
So
Right. Okay.
Mainly.
Yeah. And when was the first Ukrainian? Because you also mentioned that it changed sort of the approach after the war escalated. When was the first time you got involved with Ukraine? Was that?
I would say 2013.
Okay. So and that was.
If not 2013, 2015.
Okay. So still, it's been a while already at this stage, right? Exactly. Yeah, and if we zoom into your journey for now, so now you've given a bit of a nutshell perspective on Deaconess, but how about your personal and professional one? So, because I also know that looked into your career track, and I think you started from Deaconess Foundation actually.
That's true.
That's spent 10 years or so there. Yeah. Then transitioned to Nokia, right? And then came back to a Deaconess. So how was the process there? If you would give
Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
It's an interesting. I have a colorful career in if I may so say so myself. But so I'm educated as a Lutheran priest in Finland, and I started to work in the church parish here just a couple of blocks away.
Oh, okay.
So Deaconess Foundation became familiar to me when I was working as a parish priest.
I see. Right.
And then at 89 I was asked to do a 1 year fixed term job here as a trainer and a teacher in the Deaconess College and Diaconia College of Helsinki, and then I was also working as a pastoral council, because that time we had a hospital here still.
Right.
1990s.
Okay.
I worked for 11 years instead of that one year.
It extended just a little.
Right, right. And at 2000, I took another fixed term contract with Nokia. So another 1 year contract, and I stayed at first as HRD, Human Resources Development Consultant, and then I moved to. It turned out to another 11 years.
Yes, seems to be the magical number.
Yeah, it's been my cycle.
1 plus 10.
Yes, my cycle has been was that, and so I worked as an HR and supporting as a business HR supporting different technology units in Nokia in various areas. So mainly staying in Finland, but I supported teams working from Japan to the West Coast, US, and spent some time also in Silicon Valley.
Okay, got it.
So I thought that I would next move to be a HR director in some Finnish company. This was fall 2011, and all of a sudden I got a call from Deaconess Foundation that they are looking for a new CEO, and I should apply. The rest is history.
Yeah, no, exactly. Now we're sitting, and you just retired 3 days ago, right?
Yes.
Yeah. How does that feel? Because more or less you've been together with Deaconess for 23 years.
Yeah,
cumulatively.
that's true.
So it's a big switch right now.
It is a big switch, and. I'm still melting it. I'm digesting it. I cannot say how it feels, except that I'm happy, tired but happy.
Yeah.
We have the saying in Finnish. Väsynyt mutta onnellinen.
Yeah. Yes. A bit more freedom to say no to things as well. So.
Yes. As a Finn, I like to spend my time at the cottage also, and the countryside, and
that's great.
And with the grandchildren. So.
No, exactly. I think that's honestly that's why also in the physical hospital which we're developing, the outside park area is also a crucial part of it. I think this connection to nature and just being able to connect
so
to it.
Crucial.
Exactly. And maybe just last question about your private journey. What has been maybe most challenging and most inspiring and the best part of working at Deaconess Foundation, maybe for the past 13 years would make sense to reflect more on?
Yeah, I think it's working with both are working with people.
Yeah.
It's on the other hand very, very challenging to build a kind of for example a leadership team which performs, and then building a bigger organization which performs and where people can enjoy their work. So we have this slogan that in Deaconess Foundation when you come to work you can take your professionalism, but in addition to that you can take your heart with you. So building that kind of atmosphere, culture has been a challenge, but on the other hand, so meaning that I have also had to make a lot of changes with my team.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the day, I can be very, very proud of the team we have today. 3,400 employees who are dedicated, who are committed, and who want to join this story. We're almost 160 years old organization. Yeah. Far more older than the independent Finland.
Right.
No. We have this saying that we are the political systems change, the currency change, the emperors come and
Deaconess
go,
stays.
the presidents come and go, but Deaconess stays.
Right, you're like this old oak tree in the backyard that is always there and you can rely on.
With new leaves.
Yeah, no, exactly. It still keeps going, keeps getting bigger and making more impact, right?
Yes.
Fantastic. And zooming in on to Ukraine question, you already said that Deaconess has quite a few initiatives there. Can you just describe a little bit more detail? How did it change since the outbreak of Ukraine? You said that before it was one form and then a new one after.
So one principle in our international work nowadays is that we don't have any expats. We don't send our employees there. We collaborate with the excellent competence and with the teams, with the already existing organizations. So it's the capacity building principle that we help those organizations to fulfill their goals by capacity building and support and mentoring and coaching. And there's also this financial part, financial aid. We have chosen Cherokee as our Ukrainian partner organization, and this organization had been working already earlier in Ukraine to support especially the Roma minorities. And with them we have then expanded the goals. And so earlier in the beginning it was mainly supporting the minorities to get tapped and integrated to the society, and help certain minority groups to access education, access. A very simple thing was that after the Ukraine became independent, but many of those Roma groups lacked the Ukrainian ID. So they still have their own Soviet ID.
I see. Right.
So we were supporting those teams to get up to the society and help them to build trust towards the officials and so on. So when the war broke out, we very fast noticed that there are minority groups, also handicapped people and people with different disabilities who were suffering from kind of how to escape from the war front. So we started to support those people, those groups, to help them to move to more safe areas in Ukraine, but also in Moldavia. So we actually started some shelters also in Moldavia side. Moldova side, and then also in the very early phase of the war, we started to collaborate with the Ombudsman's office in Ukraine. So we have had several attempts or shared programs to build the trust for those minority groups to encounter the officials and get what I hear an excellent Ukrainian electric ID. So there is an excellent ID system.
Yeah, no, it's actually one of the world's leading ones right now, the e-services.
Right. So together with the Ombudsman's office, we have been working also towards this goal.
Exactly. Oh, it's great to hear that there is quite a reach already, and that one has been with Ukraine ever since the outbreak of the war and supporting the vulnerable people within it, because obviously the society has different levels.
Yes.
And there are different groups that need different types of support. So.
And it's just a historical fact in any society in war that the politics become harder and harsher and
Well, there are new dynamics as well, because obviously you have war ongoing on the one side that you want to keep your independence, but at the same time you have war fatigue at people, so there's a lot of factors that are playing out on all levels.
And I think this is connected to the main mission of the Nadija Children's Hospital as well.
No, exactly. Zooming in on Nadija, how was it getting involved with Nadija? Is there anything that stood out to you on a personal level and maybe in comparison to to the efforts that you already had in Ukraine? Was there some alignment or an additional gap that it covered or so?
Yeah, well, the support to Nadija began Anne approached us, and we had the first conversations about the plan to set up this Nordic, inter-Nordic foundation, and immediately it resonated very positively with us. And we understood that in this build-up phase where we are still planning and building and collecting and so on, the Nadija Foundation has its focus more on a bit different things than compared to our programs. So there's not yet like too much collaboration on that side, but we want to keep it warm. So if whenever there is the opportunity.
Exactly.
In Finland, we have already for 32 years we have been running a clinic for torture.
Right.
For people with torture background, mainly asylum seekers, but also later war traumatized Finns who have been fighting elsewhere in the world, and also the children and the families, because the torture history affects the whole family, and even sometimes we have juveniles who have this torture background. So we have a lot of, during the 30 years we have gained a lot of expertise on these issues, and I'm looking forward that these professionals who work now mainly in Finland and it could also provide their expertise to Nadija at some point via the virtual hospital.
No, absolutely. I think knowledge is something that is very much needed in this field right now.
Right.
Because from what I know, that the fields of epigenetics and traumatology have been slightly under-researched, or maybe quite heavily under-researched in the past years. So, and this also provides a way to research it more to help the children in need and also the future victims of trauma or.
So one of the core facts when it comes to the life of a traumatized person is that PTSD symptoms are very long lasting. So the tail of the trauma is longer than we could imagine. And this is what we have found out already with those people we support in Finland. So we're talking about years.
We said generations from in some cases.
Yes. And it affects the whole society.
Yeah, exactly.
Or at least the community. On the community level.
Exactly.
But then it reflects the whole society, and we can only imagine when the war at one point ends in Ukraine, it will not just be community, it will be a society challenge, and it will be an international challenge for the whole Europe, even the bigger area than Europe. But at least we in Europe have been committed to support Ukraine.
No, absolutely. Just have to accept that fact and make the best out of it, honestly. Right. That's why working even now in the midst of war, you just have to start. That's
right. Absolutely.
Yeah. And taking into account that Nadija is a Nordic foundation and we're focusing Nordic efforts, do you think there's something that can be taken from the Nordic or Finnish approach and implemented in Ukraine? Also looking at what the efforts that you already did, is there something you think that there is an edge in those Nordic societies that can be useful in Ukraine?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of expertise in the Nordics, and there's a lot of will also to transfer that expertise. However, it cannot be colonial transportation.
Right.
You always have to understand the context. And so we are not exporting blocks.
No,
to
just
Ukraine.
parts that the wrong Lego size.
Exactly.
I have still maybe 2 or 3 questions. We can slowly round to the end. And one point would be on children specifically. Is that a group that Deaconess is working a lot with compared to other groups? And if you would reflect on working with children versus other groups, is there something that is different or maybe extra points to keep in mind? Because obviously for Nadija, children is the main audience and their families, of course.
Yeah.
So
So we have Deaconess Foundation is working especially with children.
Yeah.
Especially with children with certain disabilities and challenges. I think the biggest group of children we work with are those who have developmental disorders, and we provide foster care for those children, but also like training and daily activities, not schooling itself necessarily. A lot of young people, children and teenagers with the autism spectrum, and then the most traditional service we have for children and youth is the foster home services. So we have done that for more than 100 years.
Yeah. Okay. So there's quite a bit of expertise on that to be shared.
Yes. Yes. Foster care is not just here in Helsinki, but all over Finland. So yeah, we have experience on challenging neuropsychological development disorders also, together with the Central Hospital, the University Hospital in Helsinki. So we actually have created a model where the University Hospital psychiatrists and psychologists come to our units and work daily there with our staff. Right. And then they can exchange their experience and obviously to provide better service for the young people in the foster care.
Yeah. No, it's fantastic to hear that this definitely not a new area and one of the main areas. So I'm sure there's a lot of expertise and experience to be shared when it comes to delivering services in Ukraine as well. Right. Because unfortunately, experience from that area will also be needed for the solutions that are being developed.
Yes.
And maybe as for the last question, looking into the future, because I mean, Nadija obviously stands for hope in Ukrainian. So how do you see the future? Are you hopeful, and how do you perhaps see the future in Ukraine of Nadija, of Deaconess, let's say 10 years down the line?
Yeah, like that. Well, if I start from Deaconess, I'm more than hopeful. I'm convinced that the new generations will take Deaconess to the next level, and of course it depends on how the Finnish society will develop. We have a lot of challenges also here in the Finnish society, but boldly working for human dignity is our slogan. So this is the Deaconess part, but then when you look at the hope with Ukraine, Europe needs to stand more firm behind Ukraine to strengthen the hope with the Ukrainian people, but also with this whole large European community to build for lasting peace and to build for resolution. We know it's going to be a long journey. But once we get there, we have to be united. And as long as we feel the unity, we will also sense the hope. It's built of small bits and pieces. And Nadija is not a small, but it's a bit and big piece there.
Yeah, no, it is.
It's a big effort, but it's just a piece of the...
Exactly, and the hope is that it will also inspire even more initiatives like that.
Right.
And potentially will be scalable down the line, so that is sort of the first step of building hope and resilience. Fantastic. Well, thank you, Olli, for your time, for sharing the insights and the Nadija Foundation and its journey. I think that's that Nordic expertise and excellence that is, when combined with Ukrainian resilience, that is what will change the system for the center.
Slava Ukraini.
Yeah, in the way, so.